Listen, here's the thing. If you can't spot the sucker in your first half hour at the table, then you are the sucker. What's up? We here in Vegas getting ready to play the Colossus 2022 WSOP. Let's get into this action. So we went ahead and went late reg to the Colossus, and I don't think that was a good idea. This line is crazy. It's a little impossible to film here. First table, we sit down, we see someone that we don't really want to see. Poker face Ash is sitting in the 6 or 7 seats, so we know we have one tough player on our first. We just literally folded 2 hands, and now we're on break because we late reg, so we're gonna get in there and see if we can't run a stack up. Colossus bullet number 1 down. We had 9s on the button, the cutoff jam for 34,900 blinds and 600, 1,200. We call, he has 7s, and snaps the 7 off on the flop. Fucking anyways, and then we have like 3 big blinds left in the very next hand. We get it all in with 4-6 hearts, because why not? Fuck it. And we lost that one. So, bullet 1 down. 2 bullets down on day 1A of the Colossus. Not much you can do. Bullet number 3, day 1B for the Colossus. Let's go. Me and Travis, Annie up life here, heading to play the Colossus at the World Series of Poker. Let's go. Day 1B. Let's run up this stack. Way up there is the front of the line that's not moving. And then here it wraps around all the way down there. This line, this blank space is me. And then it goes all the way down here and wraps around all the way back. Finally get to my table. I quickly notice we have some aggressive players at our table, and add in the fact that we are card dead and also an all-in with a duck. I get knocked out after about 3 hours of play, so on to bullet number 4. We end up getting a soft table draw and getting a decent stack, but after flopping trips and having to fold on the river to a shove that drilled the flush, we bust in about 1700th place, where we got it all in pre with ace king and missed. To which we check out the legend himself and the high roller table before retiring to the room for the night. Congrats to Alex Foxen for taking that one down. Results for day 1 for us weren't what we wanted, but the experience so far is amazing. Alright, we're late regging the $500 buy-in, salute to Warriors, and we couldn't get the fast track to work, so we have to head over, have them print our card over in Paris, and then we're going to get into this money. Let's run it up. On break at the salute to Warriors, we had a nice double up in the first few hands we set down. We had aces versus 10s, got it all in. Full double. We're sitting on about 125,000, coming back to 300, 500, so plenty of play. We're on the first break. It's 30 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to do, but let's run it up. So we are on the second break of the $500 Salute to Soldiers. We are running pretty well. We caught a bluff slash value, but I think it was a value bet on the flop, and then he ended up turning his hand kind of into a bluff because he did have his beat on the flop, but we counterfeited him with 2 pair because we had an overpair to the board, and end up scooping up about a 90K pot. Yeah, a little over 90K pot. And that was huge for us. So we're on second break with 303K, and we are coming back to 501,000 blinds, which means we have 300 big blinds, which is super deep. Our table has gotten a lot tougher since we first sat down. Few serious thinking players, one crazy aggro player, but we're trying to run it up. We're trying to run deep. I suck at giving updates. It's hard to walk and talk with all this crowded people around, but I will take a picture of the stack when I get back to the table. I quickly ran into the Houston legend himself, Fireman Scott. Shout out to him for taking the picture. Good luck. Here is our stack of 303K right before blinds are about to start at 501,000. So we are crazy deep. I didn't get much footage after this as far as breaks go. I was really trying to stay focused. And a lot of times breaks are really short in comparison to how big the field is and getting to the bathroom and trying to get a snack. It's crazy. But we were really zoned in on this tournament. We really played well, honestly. And right before dinner, we had about 500K. Coming back from dinner, we didn't play too long before they moved our table. And we had about 700K before this interesting hand happened. So it folds to us in the small blind, and we're the chip leader at our table. The player to our left has only played like 3 hands, and I think all of them he 3-bet. So when it folds to us and we have 6-7 offsuit, I kind of am leaning more towards a raise just to pick up the blinds and antes. And that's what I do here. So I go ahead and raise like 2.5x, you know, hopefully denying him some equity to call. And he ends up actually calling. And the flop comes down 4, 5, 8, and we flop the joint. So I kind of think for a second whether or not I should lead here. I mean, it's kind of a dry board. You know, I think a lot of his flatting ranges are going to have, you know, broadways in them and a few maybe low ace X's, but he may 3-bet those, any ace X's that are higher than, you know, ace 7, ace 8, ace 9. But so we check it to him, and he does bet. He makes a 20K bet, and I could flat here, but I think for a second, and I decide to min raise him just to kind of play this cat and mouse game. Like, you know I'm raising pretty wide here pre-flop, and then you're probably betting most of what's checked to you because the board seems pretty dry. It was a rainbow board. I mean, the only hand that really nailed it was my hand. So I min raise to 40K, and he decides to overbet jam 300K. Now, I am clearly going to call here. We flop the nuts, no doubt about it, but I just want to think for a second about what hands does he overjam here. I feel like he overjams like a lot of hands that are very strong that want to look weak, and he wants me to call off light with. I mean, clearly, just for the story purposes, I snap call. He ends up having 5-8, which was top 2 pair, and we run clean. No 8 or 5 comes, so we end up with over $1 million in chips. But I thought it was pretty interesting for him to overjam that spot, considering we were so close to day 2 at the end, and I just feel like he wanted to look like it was a weaker hand and get me to call off something light, like maybe, you know, a pair of 9s or a 1-pair type hand. But unfortunately for him, he was a good player. I liked him. He was a cool dude, but unfortunately for him, he just ran into it. But that hand was what put us over $1 million, and we end up getting to end day 2 that way, which is pretty awesome. $1 million in chips in the World Series of Poker tournament. I mean, although it's not a bracelet, it's not a win, whatever, I don't even think Phil Hellmuth made $1 million chips this year. So, accomplishment. As seen, we are headed to day 2. We bagged and tagged our first WSOP event, and we have 1,024,000 chips. There's 504 people remaining. 482 get paid. Good luck us, and send me that heat, y'all. All right, we're about to start day 2. Headed to my seat now in the silver room. Let's run up the stack. I may have just busted the bubble, but we're waiting to see. We're on the bubble right now. We are on our first break in the Salute to Warriors with a stack of about 1.5. We lost a big hand. We were up to 1.9 million and we raised 50K with queens. Blinds are 10-20 and some guy jams for 427K. We call, he has king queen off, spikes a king on the flop, but we still have a good stack, still doing well, and it's a marathon, so trying to still run it up and do well. That's a rough beat, but other than that, going pretty well so far, so send the heat. So some slight bad news. The footage I got after this I put on Instagram to update, but I forgot to save it. And well, we ended up catching a pretty big bluff from a English Frenchman. I don't know what he was. He was from England, lived in France, and where he tried to bluff us with 9-10, and we had ace king when we turned the ace, and we doubled up with a full double to 2.4 million. But after that, we just ran really bad. We got it all in with him. Well, I wasn't all in, but they were for 1.2 million and 800,000, and I ended up calling with queens. This one had ace king, the other guy had tens. There was a king on the flop, and after that we raised with jacks, and jack nine of clubs hit the flush on us. We lost about 250K in that pot, and then we called an all-in of queen eight offsuit with ace nine of spades. The big blind also went all in for 300,000 or 400,000, and we had ace nine of spades, and the king queen ended up winning by hitting a king. And then we ended up finally here in this footage getting it all in with ace king versus queen 10, and we flop a king, and well, you see the river, it's a 9, and he hits the straight, and we bust out in 102nd place. That was good for a payday of 1,460. We ended up max late regging the deep stack for 600 and busting out of that, and then we played a daily deep stack the next day, busted out of that, and well, that was it for us. We headed home. I do want to apologize, guys, for that anticlimactic ending. I did get some footage, but sadly I didn't save it. But either way, it doesn't matter. Sorry I didn't take one down for you guys, but I want to say that I didn't film as much just because there was a lot of distractions. There was a lot going on. It was my first year there, registration, lines, all kinds of craziness. So I kind of just wanted to be as focused as I could on the poker. And well, it kind of worked out for me. First World Series of Poker, first year I cashed in a tournament, not bad. I'll take it. Big plans coming up, and I would like if you guys could do me a favor and in the comments let me know what you would like to see more of from me, or what I've done in the past that you like, that you want me to continue, anything to make the vlog better. I know I do need to get better at editing and filming and that stuff. I've just been really trying to focus on my game recently, but please let me know, and thank you guys for watching. Always hit that like and subscribe button, help your boy out, and I'll see you next time.